Shut up, big guy. Oh. I look here like your dad if I look like the guy that cooks meth in the Breaking Bad Breaking Bad mobile behind Shantytown. That'd probably be it. You know, Too late? Oh. I don't know if I'm neurodivergent or just over 50, but I wind up in some fucked up situations. It's like at my last open mic, I was wearing a kilt, and I was sitting there the whole time like this. And then the second row said, "I wish we had a shorter stool because I don't look like looking at hairy balls." I had accidentally Paris Hilton them, and I was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." I tried to keep little Scotty under wraps because I don't want to wind up on a website. But I mean, they were just sitting there and looking at it and grinning, and I'm thinking, what was this, like Antique Roadshow? You know, this is the sack Grandma used to use to make your parents. It's worth about $50 a pop. But it's crazy because, you know, my roommates and I, when we go out, the idea is not who's going to be the designated driver. It's who's going to watch over Scotty. Because I will go up and I will talk to anybody about anything. And I have been to Park Place, and I've walked up to the guy that looks like fucking Uncle Bob in a dress and a wig, and I started talking to him. You know, I have real questions about that too. I'm like, you know, when you like whatever it is, transgender, you know, do you pick out an age-appropriate cooter biscuit, or do you always go for that OnlyFans 18 and barely 18 and a tight little number? And I think, you know, if they would be smarter if they went for the age-appropriate vagina, like if they're like over 35, you go for that 4 baby daddy roast beef and cheddar looking vagina rather than the soft skin clam of the 18-year-old. It'd just be smarter. They could get a whole lot with a whole lot more. You know, I wouldn't mind fucking a tranny, and I know I'm not supposed to say that. I can't really say little people, because it just reminds me of Epstein and Woody Allen. You know, Woody Allen's this famous director and actor, and he wound up marrying his adopted stepdaughter. I'm like, that's just fucking crazy. Now, he swears he didn't go to China and pick her out for his sexual pleasure. They fell in love in college. You know, nothing says like you were drinking way too much in college like the 4 Ds. Daddy dicking you down in the dorms. I mean, it comes to the point to where, you know, you think your sex life is confusing, and just imagine him clapping cheeks back together, going, "Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy?" Like, we weren't supposed to talk about this after the marriage, Dad. You need to stop this shit. It was creepy at age 9. It's creepy now at age 24. No, I'll just keep on doing this shit. But I will go up and I will talk to anybody and I'll do anything, and I'm pretty freaking wild. Even when I was a car salesman and I had the suit and the tie and the clean shave and the douchebag haircut, I still had a couple screws loose. I remember we went on a company trip to a Jaguars game, and with the front of the house and the back of the house. So we had salesmen and managers, you know, versus, you know, mechanics and detailing. And we had the biggest, scariest guy on the planet that was our detailer. He was about 6'7", and he had tattoos of Jason and Freddy and serial killers all over him, all up his neck and everything. So we're driving back, I'm totally trashed, and he said something to the salesman that was front of the Suburban that was driving. So I crack a Bud Light and I start dumping the entire beer over his head. He looks back like he's going to fucking murder me. But then he sees us passing JSO, guiding us out of the parking lot. So he just throws his beer in my face. We get to a point to where I can call for a ride for a rescue for my roommate, and I get home. But I wake up the next day and I can't find my phone. So I go back and I look in the Suburban. I go back the next day at work, and the mechanics hand me my phone. So I'm here and I'm checking my Facebook. And I love these guys. I miss them so much. They had taken close-up pictures of the scrotums placed it all over my Facebook and tagged every woman in my friends list that was there. I mean, my sister's got some scrotum shots, but they weren't mine. It's fucking nuts. Oh, but I do remember I was working Maserati once, and we had this gal named Erica, great gal. We used to call her Cinnamon because she had 4 baby daddies and she was like 25. So it was like always like a parade from the best of cheaters going to her house during Father's Day. Come on, nothing? Jesus Christ. You're fucking hard. You're hard. Oh. So I have a lot of fun. I remember, perfect time. I remember I had brought a woman home. First time I brought this woman home. But I used to bring a lot of women home with my roommates, and they always got my 6. But I brought her in and I said, hey, these are the guys, this is so-and-so. And my one roommate goes, oh, welcome back. It's just like, I've never been here. So I drag her real quick off to my room, we do our thing, and I fall asleep. But what's the nicest thing about having a roommate that's got your back is, he actually stayed up all night and listened to her whine and cry and ask her if I was fucking other women and I got a good night's sleep and could go to work refreshed. How's that for a roommate? All right, that was my 5, thanks.